that's great. That sounds pretty phenomenal in terms of getting things going and getting some traction using the web. What are the if you think about the latter two products, the exercise program, the continuing education, where you have content that you're actually delivering online, what are the key components to how you market that? You mentioned AdWords or SEO, search engine optimization. What else is what do you think's being essential? What are the essential pieces of that?
We rely upon several sources to drive in traffic. The principal one is search optimization, and so we've focused on certain key terms. Our key term is not a high volume key term. It's not like video photography or some high volume term or entertainment term that really gets high traffic. It's our focus is on osteoporosis and exercise and terms around that. And so we have a blog, and our blog is part of our overall site. The blog is WordPress based. We do postings. We've got basically close to 200 postings right now in the last 18 months we've done. So we post quite frequently, and we do an e-newsletter to our subscriber base every 2 weeks, and we send that out every second Friday. And they're split between clients, what would be term clients like lay people, and also professionals. Really the focus is on what I have noticed is that people come into our funnel, they find us typically on organic search, they sign up for a free course that we offer. We have a free course. It's a 5-day email course, which is video-based, one for clients and one for professionals, and it really gives them the basics of osteoporosis and exercise and some of the key things and the research that's been done and the findings that have occurred over the last few years. We supplement that with the blog, so people get a lot of free value from us, but what we do hold back is the actual core content, which is the exercise programs and the schedules, and we have an online diagnostic tool to assign the program to people. But we hold back the kind of the core content, but we provide a lot of value, I think, free for people. So that gives us high engagement, and people will come into our funnel, and we can have people in our funnel for as much as a year before they do a purchase. But I have noticed that every time I do an e-news, we get a combination of new people signing up for the professional, signing up for courses. We get people signing up for the online exercise program for clients, and we always get clients who haven't seen Margaret in a while coming back saying, I want to come into the clinic. So the continual communication without overdoing it, without pestering people, but if you communicate value, and we focus on topics and issues that are occurring in the area of health, specifically around skeletal health, and we deliver that content on a regular basis, and people like it, and they read it, and they come back, and quite often at times they make purchases. So that's how we do it. That's been our principal strategy.
No, that's great, Richard. And it sounds like that kind of segues nicely into my next question. It sounds like content is a pretty key piece of what's working really well for you. And so I want to ask you, what do you think the sort of most successful pieces of the program have been for you, or that you went, wow, this really works a lot, I got to do more of this?
Yeah, I think what we've found, Hugh, is that in terms of our content, you're right, content is critical. You need to develop. There's several things we've learned. Your content needs to be written in a certain fashion. Obviously, you need to be aware of keywords and things like that. So you make sure it meets those requirements. But at the end of the day, you need to be delivering, I think, valuable content to people that's informative for them. We don't have a problem generating new content because there's areas around the area of nutrition, there's things happening in the pharmaceutical area, and there's a lot happening in the exercise area in terms of new findings, and there's continuous research going on. So one source is just to introduce new research. The other thing that goes on is that there's topics that are kind of ancillary to exercise and osteoporosis. So, for example, yoga, and safe yoga practice. I mean, yoga is very, very popular, as you know, and but most of the people who are leading yoga have not been trained any kind of health training, and there's certain risks associated for people who have low bone density and yoga poses they should or should not do, or those that they modify. So we actually wrote a book on it, and we have that book. We took a different approach. We actually don't sell that on our site. We sell it on Amazon because we wanted to have a presence on Amazon. So we sell a book called Yoga for Better Bones on Amazon to kind of broaden our indexing. So basically the approach is to focus on your core term and make sure that there's deep content in there in the respective categories on your blog. And then I make sure we kind of develop things. There's very high volume categories or search categories that are ancillary to osteoporosis. Like I say, yoga is one, and yoga and osteoporosis. Activities of daily living is another one. So we do that. We make sure that there's text. Text. Everything's text rich. And I would say one more thing that's changed in the last few years is that we use video extensively, and we also make a point now of one of the advantages of video is that it's the technology and everything associated with it, from the cameras to the lighting to actually the post-production, has improved dramatically over the last few years. The hosting services are so much better now, and I've noticed a dramatic improvement there. But we make sure, one thing we've done of recent is that when we do, and also my wife is more comfortable in front of the camera than sitting down and working on words, because they don't come naturally to her, written that is, but she's a natural speaker and a very personable person. So her personality comes off very well on video, and we make a point of shooting the video and the content. We typically get it in one take, and sometimes two at the most. But what we do is we strip out the audio and we generate text from that. So we actually get transcriptions done, and we use the text inside the blog itself. So it gives us words and keywords. So it gives us extra text and gives more crawlability to the site.
No, that's great. Yeah, that's interesting, and it's interesting. How much easier producing video content has gotten in the last few years.
Yeah, it has.